Hello, everybody. I am back with, introducing a new game to the channel, Slay the Spire 2. It has effectively taken the world by storm, at least all of the worlds that I know of. All the dorky deck building worlds are currently being ruled by Slay the Spire 2. To give you all a little bit of background, one of the videos, or one of the games I tried to make a series of was the original Slay the Spire, and I did not end up making a series on it. However, my intention was to do a series where I would try to get clears through Slay the Spire 2 all the way up to Ascension 20 with every character, and maybe even eventually beat the heart. But I wanted to put some time into the game and figure out how to play it so I don't continually embarrass myself every episode, and ended up putting about 117 hours, I want to say, in the original Slay the Spire. Beat the game on every character, got up to at least Ascension 5, I believe, with the Silent, before Slay the Spire 2 came out, and I was like, I'm not going to play Slay the Spire 2 until I'm finished with Slay the Spire 1, and I am a prisoner of the moment, unfortunately, and could not resist. I wanted to play the new game with everybody else and experience it as everybody else is experiencing it. So, played maybe like 10 hours of Slay the Spire 2, got a feel for it. It's basically the same game. It's just Slay the Spire 1, but better. At least from my estimation, playing as little as I have so far. But it's a great game. Great game like the first. They made a perfect game better. Slay the Spire is a perfect game, and they made it even better with this one. So there's really no need to play the original, at least in my view, because this game does everything the original does, but does it better, I would say. I mean, there's still some kinks they gotta iron out, but there's so much content. Even in early access like it is, there's so much to do, so much to see. So I thought I would play this, and who knows, maybe if I, get really, consistent with my upload schedule, I could upload a Slay the Spire 2 video throughout early access, and we can watch the game grow together. So that's kind of the tentative plan. But the other thing I really enjoy about Slay the Spire is it's like a perfect video game for ASMR purposes. It's very relaxing, very replayable. Music's not loud, the sound effects aren't very loud. It's just it's a very chill, cozy game, in my opinion. So I think it fits very well for what we're trying to do here. So, sorry, I hope that didn't come through. My cats had the zoomies all of a sudden, so hopefully that didn't come through. But anyway, so let's get started here. We're gonna go standard. As you can see, I have unlocked Ascension 2 with the Silent. I am going to do what my original plan was for the original Slay the Spire and try to accomplish a Ascension 20 run with every character. So I'd like you to see me win if I can on every Ascension. So we'll start with Ascension 0. And I've been playing a lot of the Silent. I wouldn't say the Silent is necessarily my favorite character. She's awesome, don't get me wrong, but the thing about Slay the Spire, at least the original, is that all the characters were so much fun to play, just in different ways. So my favorite character was really just whoever I had been spending the most time with recently. So for a while it was the Defect, then for a while it was the Silent, because I started to understand how discard decks work. Discard builds, I should say. And then the Silent became my favorite, and it kind of carried over into Slay the Spire 2. So I've been playing a lot of the Silent recently. I have not played with the Regent, or obviously the Necrobinder, which I understand is is a very fun character to play, as is the Regent, but I haven't played as either one. For now, I want to keep playing as the Silent. I'm cool with that. We may play as a Regent next episode, but regardless. Okay, so Niao, Mother of Resurrection. Let's take a look at our map here. So who are we fighting? That's the big question. That's my main question I have. Waterfall Giant at the end. So if I remember the Waterfall Giant correctly, when you defeat him, he kind of explodes, or it, rather, explodes for a certain amount of damage that you have to accommodate. You have to be ready for when you finish the fight. You have like a turn to stack up a bunch of blocks. So let's see, where do we want to go? What direction do we want to go? Do we want to go combat heavy, really build out the deck, or do we want to go like question mark heavy with an elite fight at the end? I think this is our path, because this way we can fight 1, 2 elites, and we'll hit 1, 2, 3 campfires, and a lot of combat in between, and as well as a relic chest. So, and we're gonna get a bunch of question marks at the beginning. So, yeah, I think that's our path. This is another cool addition of the game. I could see this being much more useful in multiplayer when you have a bunch of different players. That's another thing, by the way. This game is multiplayer now, so this game has everything. It literally has everything for everybody. So I could see where the drawing on the map would become more useful if you're running a crew of 4 or whatever. But I still like it. It's still it's nice to have like a little mechanic where I can like plan out my route a little bit. Yeah, it's just a little immersive touch, because I mean the map is a piece of parchment, so it makes sense that you'd be able to draw on it. But yeah, anyway, all right, let's figure out what we're gonna get from Niao. Obtain a random rare card, gain 150 gold, remove 2 cards from your deck, take 13 damage. So I don't think we want to take anything out of the deck yet, because we don't even really know what we're building towards. Although no, I think we're just gonna take the gold. We're gonna keep it simple for our first playthrough here on the channel. So, okay. So wait, all right, that actually kind of changes things. Are we gonna hit a shop at any point? I think we might want to revise based off of having a good chunk of gold to spend. So I think rather than going for that second elite, we'll go through this path and hit a store at the end. I think that's a good plan. Anyway, okay. First things first, we gotta take care of this sea punk. So he's gonna do 11 damage. Obviously, we're gonna weaken you, take you down to 8, and we only have defend cards to play. So that's all we can do on that turn, unfortunately. So he's gonna do 8 damage, and now we have nothing but attacks. How strange is that? That's 2 really bad draws to start out. But, alright, so you're gonna buff, I think you buff strength, and you're gonna add some block. So I think we just go in on you as hard as we can, and we should be able to kill you next turn pretty easily. 1 strength and do 12 damage. We can do 12 damage ourselves. You need 9 to die, so we can finish this fight. Cool beans. All right, first fight's in the books. What do we get? We got 18 gold, clarity extract. Draw 1 card. At the start of your next 3 turns, draw 1 additional card. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Do we want to deflect, flick flack, or escape plan? I've been having a lot of fun with the Sly mechanic, which is basically where if you discard the card, it plays whatever it does for free, which is a new mechanic in Slay the Spire too. Originally, discard decks would just be, you would just discard and draw more. And, you know, you had some cards that if you discard, they would give you energy, or they would draw 2 or something like that, but they didn't really call it Sly. And I don't remember there ever being any cards when in the original, when you discarded, you would attack. I'm not saying that didn't happen. I don't recall it. But anyway, early on, I think you need damage on the first floor, so we'll go that route. And it's a good card. It pairs really nicely with Survivor. Let's see. So you're gonna do that. I think I'm cool with doing this. I'm cool with taking 2 damage. Alright, so you're gonna do 9 and you're gonna buff your strength. You also have 2 thorns, so you're gonna hit me for 2 every time I hit you. So, first thing we do is that. Take 2, and then we end our turn. Maybe we shouldn't have discarded the attack. We could have done a little bit more damage, but it's all good. Not a problem. Alright, so 9 plus 7, that's 16 damage total. I think this is a block turn, where we just block everything. Alright, this is more like what I'm talking about, because we don't have thorns to deal with, so we can take care of you and get you down to pretty much where we need you to be. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this flick-flack thing works. So when you discard, choose card to discard, the little gold border tells you if you have a card with Sly that would, behoove you to discard that card to make the most of it. So that's what we'll do here, and that should be it. Yep, cool. So let's see what we got. Another Sly card. Do we want to just lean into the discard build we have going on? I think we do. Because if we're just getting discard cards, upgrade, observe the chef, pay the upgrade a random card, continue feasting. I think I'm okay. That is not what we really wanted you to do. All right, let's leave. All right, so we didn't really want a strike to get upgraded, but it's not the end of the world. And we have a shop. Okay, great. So maybe we can actually, because we had a shop, maybe we can hit that second elite. But one thing at a time here. We need more. If we're going to go with a discard build, if we're going to do that, we need to have some prepareds and some different ways to discard. I'm good with taking another flick-flack, and I'm good with a piercing whale, because piercing whale is a pretty good card to have no matter what you got going on. And we'll remove a strike, and we will continue on. Game 41, at Clumsy, obtain a random relic. What relic do we get? I wonder. I'm willing to do it. Okay. So we got War Paint, which upgrade 2 random skills, which it upgraded Piercing Whale, which is good. And it upgraded a Defend, which is not so good. And we have something. Can we not remove that? Is that what Ethereal means? It is exhausted. Unplayable exhaust. Okay, no, we can remove that curse. Okay, good. So we'll remove it at the next shop we come across. And we will upgrade a card. And we will upgrade a Flick-Flack. And we will take on this elite who is Terror Eel. So with him, first time Terror Eel's HP reaches 70 or below, becomes stunned. And he's going to attack for 17 damage. Okay, so I think you obviously play your Weaken. You play your Block, and you play your Ricochet. I would say this deck needs a lot, don't get me wrong. Like, we're still at the beginning phases here. Like, we need more ability. We need some acrobatic cards, acrobat cards, and prepared cards. And we could honestly use something that would allow us to stack damage over time or increase our strength over the course of a fight. Something that scales with what we're building here. So, but again, one of the traps that I often fall into with Slay the Spire, and it took me like over 100 hours to break the habit, kind of. I still do it sometimes, but is getting a preconceived notion about the build you want before you've even seen the cards the game is offering you. in most situations, you want to just take the best card that they're offering you, and your build be damned, especially early on here. Now, if you get further along in the game, obviously builds become more important. But the thing I'm seeing here that we need more than anything is a few more cards that discard, and a few cards that also draw. Okay, this is the perfect turn to play this card. And we'll take some block, and we'll just take 6 damage. And we'll do that and that. See, like that's the meat of the I'm about to say the meat of the deck. That's like kind of what we're trying to do here. We want to discard, we want to add block, and we want to draw. Draw in this order: discard, draw, defend. That's kind of what we're looking at. Attacks, like dedicated attack cards that you can't play without which are not played by discarding, are less important to us, I think. So this is a block turn. We're still gonna take 6 damage, but although we could have played our attack and got him down, and it would have been fine. But oh well. All right, we'll just do it here. He stuns at 70, so we could have like done one single attack and then he would have been stunned and we wouldn't have taken any damage, but oh well. So he's gonna debuff me. I think he applies weak or something like that. I don't know, but either way, that means we can focus on attacking and not worry about our defense so much. Okay, vulnerable for 99 turns. That is not good. So we need to take care of this guy pretty quick here, if at all possible. 22, you're gonna do 25, we're gonna add 10, 18, only takes 7 damage. I think that's the play. Hopefully we can get out of this without having to heal. So 9 plus 6 is 17, plus that's enough to kill you, so we'll do that. No, it's not. I totally mismanaged that. There's a chance we can draw a neutralize, and of course we didn't, but that's unfortunate. This is why math is so important in this game. You have to calculate what your cards do, otherwise you're gonna be left with egg on your face. Happy Flower, every 3 turns gain energy. That's not a bad card. I think a backflip would be good for us, for some more defense that doesn't just defend, it like also cycles the deck through. So like for example, like this would be a great, okay, we didn't draw Survivor, but you see the method here for what I'm trying to get after. So let's see, when do we come across a campfire? We might, yeah, I think we're actually gonna go this direction because we hit that early shop. I think we can afford to hit that other elite, which I think will be good for us long term. Okay, so that, and then some cards that apply vulnerable or weak would be very good, I think. And we're gonna go in on you and just finish the job. Great. Strength potion. Okay, so because we're going to be stacking a lot of block and cycling through our deck a lot, I think a Noxious Fumes works, because when I was saying that we could use something that like scales over the course of a fight, Noxious Fumes would be one. Now if we can get some other poison cards, that would be great too. Whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combat with an additional 2 energy. That doesn't hurt. Can hurt. Alright, so who we got here? The Sewer Clan, 10 damage, and at the end of your turn, gain 8 block. Plating is reduced by 1 at the start of your turn. Okay, so we're gonna play that, and we really need discard cards bad. Let's see. I think you just play that. I think you just play that and try to forget that turn ever happened. Okay, so you're gonna buff yourself. Okay, that's more what we're talking about, but again, we need some things to make this build to really pop off. Okay, Noxious Fumes, you gotta play that. And then you play your 2 defends, and then that's all you can really do. So we're probably gonna have to, I really don't want to heal. I really don't. I really want to upgrade a card, but I think we might have to rest at the next campfire coming up. So the thing I'm seeing that we should do, again, we need more cards that allow us to discard. Piercing Whale, and then we play that and that. You got 1 energy left, you're gonna do 10 still. I think you, because we're gonna have to rest anyway. I've basically accepted that we're not gonna upgrade a card at the next campfire, so as much as I would like to. I think you just go all in on the attacks, frankly. I don't think you overthink it too much, and you just end the fight. Okay, cool. Alright, so hopefully Corrosive Wave is amazing. It is an amazing, amazing card. So that's the natural pick. And it works, synergizes well, because if we can get some acrobatics cards to really make this deck pop off, we're going to be loving life, because we'll be able to discard our Flick Flax and also draw cards, which will obviously apply poison to the enemy, on top of Noxious Fumes. I think you're kind of starting to see the method here that I think I have going on. Okay, so play that. Let's see, can we kill one of you? We can get pretty close, but we can't officially kill you. Alright, so I think we do Noxious Fumes, backflip. You're gonna do 16 damage, and we can't kill any of you. So I think you just take the extra block. Okay, so you're gonna die this turn. I'm gonna use weak on you because you're the only one attacking. I think we just end the fight like that. I think some deadly poison will be good. We need different ways to stack poison. This is turning into a poison build with some draw and discard elements, which I'm not complaining about, but it's not exactly what I had in mind. But that's kind of what I'm talking about when I say that you should not commit yourself to a build before you have to. So yeah, that's just kind of how I view it. So 12 versus 9, I think that would be better for us. And then we can just go ahead and kill you. Yeah, okay, that was the right play. Again, if we got some acrobatics and some prepared cards, like just 2 of each even, I think we would be loving life right now. I really do. Okay, so we want 5 block, and then we're gonna go in on you as hard as we can. That Piercing Whale is really doing a lot of work for us too, which I'm happy about. So, okay, so I kind of want to like this. It's not really important. This wouldn't be like the ideal play. Like he's gonna die this turn no matter what we do. But just to give you some perspective about how good Corrosive Wave is, like the method I have here, you play Corrosive Wave so that every time you draw, you apply poison. So you play a card like Backflip where you gain 5 block and draw 2 cards. So you would apply 2 times 36 poison to all the enemies. It's very strong, and you have 5 blocks, so that has great synergy. And it, of course, it drew survivors, so we could play any of these cards right here. We'll play Flick Flag just to, because it's fun to play cards and not just let the enemy die due to poison. So yeah, okay, see, acrobatics, that's exactly what we were looking for. However, haze, no, we need draw, and we need the ability to discard. That's the right play. That's what we need. I was gonna say, I was getting a little, I was getting moved by the potential synergy with the poison and the discard, but that's not the right play, so 9 damage to everybody. So like cards like that really shine in hallway fights where there's more than one enemy, so you can imagine how crazy it can get. Alright, so 15 damage. So we want block. We're gonna take 2 damage. We're on the elite fight. This is the elite, yeah, and we're gonna, so we really don't, we want to like not take damage if possible, but if we could end this fight faster, I think that's what we want to do. Apply 6 poison to you. And then, okay, so we got 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 7, 17 total damage. So we're going to play Noxious Fumes, and then we're going to see what we draw. Honestly, because we have no other opportunities to draw, we're going to get rid of that card, because, again, there's not going to be a situation where we can draw more cards and apply poison, so it would be a waste to play that card. And then, let's see, we said 5, 8, plus 7 is 15 damage, so we obviously want to play some block, and then just keep it rolling. Alright, so 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 9 is 19. I think, let's play this card first. Alright, this is not a great draw for us. It's going to take some time for this build to pop off, but I genuinely do think we have something cool going on here. Alright, so you're going to die next turn, and you're not going to take any damage this turn, so we're all good there. I do think that stacking draw, poison, and discard damage is a very fun way to play the silent. Okay, so we're going to play 2 block, so we'll get no damage from you. We'll just kill you this turn. Okay, so we're not going to take any damage, and we should be able to kill both of you next turn, unless something just goes horribly awry, which has been known to happen in this game before. Okay, so this is a perfect example of like something we're looking for. So we play acrobatics, and then you discard Flick Flag, deal 9 damage to everybody. Now in this case it killed everybody, but you could see how these things would stack. You have Corrosive Wave, so you're drawing 3 cards that will apply poison to everybody, and then discard Flick Flag and do 9 damage to everybody. So you could see how this build is supposed to synergize if I can manage to land the plane here. Okay, raise your max HP by 10. I don't think we want any of these cards. They're not really helpful for what we're trying to build here. And I think we rest, as much as I don't really want to, just so we can see through to the next floor. So he's gonna buff himself. I think you just go in on the damage. I couldn't do much that turn, but, and I think I am gonna play a Thorns. And I'm gonna play that, and I'm gonna play that, and I'm gonna play an acrobatics, and that was not a great draw for us. Maybe a misplay on my part. We're gonna weaken you, take a little bit less damage, and hopefully we'll have a better turn next turn, because that was not a good turn. Okay, 7 damage. You're gonna buff yourself, and you can only take 20 damage. Okay, no. That's how much you're going to deal at the end of your turn. I think it increases with every turn you take to defeat the enemy, so, okay. I still believe in this deck, but and it's still early. But man, we really need like something to work out here because right now this sucks. Yeah, like there's no point in playing anything else. As long as we're still stacking up poison, I mean, we can whittle this guy down pretty good, but at the same time, I'm just like, I feel like we should be able to move faster with this deck, but... So we're gonna take 10 damage, yeah. Not great. We might meet our end here. I'm not gonna lie, we might not make it. At least, at the very least, we're like, he's got a lot of poison stacked, so I feel pretty good about that at least. Defend, flick flack, and you flick flack again. We should be able to survive this fight, unless something like, I think we should be able to survive. At least I'm hopeful, although not getting any block is very annoying. So really we're just hoping we can get this guy whittled down before he's got his next big attack where he heals, which is also not great for us. Okay, we're not gonna play that, we're gonna do that, and then we're going to flick flack, and we're gonna 25. Okay, perfect turn for Piercing Wail, no doubt about it. And then we're gonna do flick flack, and then neutralize, and then another block. We're gonna take no damage, so even better. And you're gonna die next turn. So we don't need to play anything. We need to just end the turn, and then we have one turn because you're stunned to find a way to block 42 damage. Which it shouldn't be impossible. Let's see, 42 plus, are we dead? 18 plus, I don't think so. No, we are dead. Oh no. Oh, that is unfortunate. Okay, we'll run it back. We'll run it back. That's just, that's part of Slay the Spire. It's all good. We'll run it back. I think the problem was we didn't have enough discard cards. Like, we either needed to continue leaning into the poison build or into the discard, but we were trying to ride the line between both, which can work if you get a little bit of luck. So the first 3 card words are upgraded. First treasure chest you open is empty. I like that ability. I understand that the treasure chest will be empty, which sucks, but having 3 upgraded cards in your deck pretty early is pretty nice. And we can also hit a bunch of campfires on the way to upgrade ourselves further, although we're avoiding all the elites this way, but at least the early elites. But I'm not too worried about it. It'll be alright. This is Ascension 0, so you can actually get away with not having that many relics and still win, so alright. Going on, yeah. So this game is highly addictive, if you're not able to tell. It's very, very fun. Every run is different, obviously, like any other roguelike, but what really makes this game shine, in my opinion, is just it tickles all the parts of my brain that I like having tickled, for lack of a better word. See, 6, 12, 18, you're not enough to kill, so we're gonna not take damage. But it just, the playing of the cards, the different builds, just all the different things you can do are very satisfying to pull off, even if you lose. Like, losing obviously is devastating and annoying, but the runs are so quick that it's really not that big of a deal. In the you know, grand scheme of things. Okay, whenever you draw a card, deal 3 damage to all enemies. That is a great card. If you can get a bunch of backflips stacked, like, you can do crazy damage. But in this particular moment is not what we need to play. We need some cards to get it to work, but a lot of the cards we need to get it to work are common. So I think we'll have some better luck with this build. I've done speedster builds where I was doing, you know, crazy damage, so I know it worked, and it can work even better with a corrosive wave if you can get it, but it's not totally necessary. Once again, we don't. Oh, I should play a card, just playing too fast. But I think that, do we? Okay, yeah, you're dead. I don't know what I was saying. It doesn't matter. Let's see. 5 dexterity this turn. Apply 3 weak, gain 14 block. Draw 2 cards, discard. That's kind of what we were looking for last run, but it's going to work well with this card too, because gain energy. I think you give that to... If you give it to Speedster, it becomes basically a 1-cost card. If you give it to this card, this is +1. So I think this is the good route here. Okay, so some of these enemies will put debuffs in your deck. So like different cards that do different things, like damage you if it's still in your hand, or whatever it happens to be. You know, these status effect cards do different things. And he's going to do 4 damage, so I think we play Speedster. And then we play this card, we get our energy back, we do some damage. And then I think we're not going to play the strike, so we're good with that. And then we can just take you out, and then we don't need to play any more defense, but here we are anyway. So you can see the vision here, doing 3 damage for every card you draw. Not counting, obviously, what you draw at the beginning of your turn, but if you stack up enough backflips and prepareds and acrobatics, like, you can get a lot of damage going. So draw 1 card, see, and did a little bit of damage there. I just think that, I know, like, I love Slay the Spire 1, I really do. It's a great game. I just think that this game does so much. There's so many, like, quality of life improvements, just the animations, the fact that all of the Slay the Spire characters have a little bit more personality. It's really quite something, so I'm very, very pleased with the game so far. I think Dagger Throw works because it gives us an opportunity to discard and draw a card, and we're gonna have a lot of backflips, so I don't think we need to worry too much about the defense as much. I think that upgraded neutralize is pretty good. Not exactly the card I would prefer to upgrade, but again, not the end of the world either. Neutralize, you're gonna do 4 damage. I think you just block. Don't overthink it too much. The greedy play would have been to have played Dagger Throw, but okay, good. I think we're gonna, as much as I would like to do that. Let's see. Okay, no, we can't do anything else. So, I should play. Again, I have a really bad habit of playing too fast, and I don't recognize that I could just avoid taking damage altogether if I would just slow the hell down. But anyway, this is a block everything turn, or as much as we can. And hopefully next turn we get some cards that do some draw. 12 damage. we got 2 energy, we can do 12 damage. Yeah, it's not enough, so block. And should be able to take this guy out next turn. Hopefully. 16 damage. Weaken you. Prepared. And then we... Yeah, okay, this is the move. And then we play this card, take you out, and that drops that. And then we play block and a block. And then we don't take any damage. Alright. 7. I think we just, I don't know, I really don't want to take damage. I don't have to take it. Obviously, like, who wants to take damage in this game if you don't have to, but I just really think that we can get away with, obviously we can get away with it because we just did it, but we got something going here. I don't think we want any of these cards because we're not a ship build. And I think we're gonna move here for a question mark. Ooh, that gives you we can hatch this fella and get an extra attack. We can do that right away. I like it. And then deal 14 damage. Pick up, gain the card Bird Swoop. A bird pip will accompany you in battles. We can do 14 damage for free. Nothing wrong with that. This is going to be empty because of our relic, Silver Crucible. Nothing to see there. Alright. He's going to summon monsters. He's a Fog Mog. I think you save the prepared. Yeah, I think you just move ahead here. And hopefully Speedster comes in the next. And it didn't. You're gonna do 6 damage with block and do that. So he will come back every turn, but I really don't want his status cards clogging up my deck if possible, so. Speedster. I think you do that. And we're gonna take a hit here, so that's not great unless I think it's worthwhile to do this and just get further along here in this fight quicker. And we can afford 1 round of days. 3 days is in our deck because hopefully we're gonna 6, 12, 18. Yeah, we're gonna finish the fight here, so nothing to be upset about there. Although probably could have taken less damage, but what are you gonna do? Gain 4 block at 3 ships and your cost reduced cost by 1. Bouncing Flask. Again, I don't think we really want that. Receive the spoils map. Yeah, obviously. So we can get to wherever that mark is on the map. We can get 600 gold, which would be awesome for us. Do we have any cards that we really want upgraded? Bird Swoop would be nice to upgrade. But do we want to hit another elite? I think we do. I may live to regret that. Alright, good shop here. Let's see. They really want me to pivot into a shiv deck, but I don't want to do it. I'm not a fan. I don't want to do it. So I think we're gonna take a sucker punch and be about our business. Alright, Speedster actually kind of goes crazy here for this fight. So 6 plus 3 is 9, so you're gonna do 12 damage total. I think you just try to minimize the amount of damage you're gonna take. Alright, so we do this. And draw 2 cards. Get rid of the strike and the strike. And then we're gonna deal 12 damage to you. Get an additional kill, and then we'll do 14 to you. And then block all of this damage. And kill you next turn. Great. Alright, cool. So, Sucker Punch, apply weak. Doesn't really matter because you're dead. Alright, let's see. Okay, so another acrobatics is a necessity. Without a doubt. Something. Okay, so when this guy dies, he basically makes like 5 copies of himself, if I remember correctly. So let's do this and hope we get. And we didn't. I was hoping we'd get Speedster early. And we only gained 1, so even if we drew Speedster, we couldn't play it. But that was a good turn. We did a lot of damage, so I'm not upset about that. Let's do that. Another block. Yeah, take no damage. Should be able to kill this guy next turn. The other thing he does, when he dies, the 5 guys he summons, they are stunned for the first turn, so you have a pretty good setup turn. But yeah, we should be able to take this guy out this turn, so. Okay, so all these guys, okay, so there's 4 of them, my mistake. And then I think we want to get rid of this. And we're gonna take some damage from these cards. Take 3 damage, yeah. So, but we should be able to hopefully take all these guys out next turn. Yeah, see, this is what we were. I'm glad we saved this card. So, then we can. How much are you gonna do? You're gonna do 4. So we can do that, and we can kill you. We can end the fight here, actually. All right, cool. Bowler gained 20 additional gold. That's awesome. Oh man, a second Speedster. I think that kind of goes crazy. Maybe that's excessive, but I think it kind of goes nuts. Because we could basically just, after that, just only put backflips and acrobatics and prepared cards in our deck and just do damage via the Speedster, so. Oh, you have 7 intangible, that's awful. Okay. We gotta get through your intangible. And then the second Speedster. I think you just keep rolling. I am probably gonna play Radiant Tincture. So we can. Alright, so this will be a big turn for us. We discard that one because we don't need it. We do that. That's going to draw a card. And then we drop another strike because we don't need it. And then we get that energy back. And again, we drop our strikes because we're gonna want to defend here. And then only take 5 damage, thankfully. Alright, so now this fight should go a little quicker because his intangibles is gone, so. And we have more. We have 5 damage coming to him every time we draw cards, so 5 for each card drawn. Pretty nutty. Alright, we'll do that. Just gonna really lay into you. Now a corrosive wave and a couple backflips would make this deck really shine, I think. Dump 1 of each, do that. Drop that. We'll just keep drawing if you keep letting us. I mean, just keep making it happen. We'll do that, do that. You're not looking too great all of a sudden. I think in 2 turns, if everything goes right, we should be able to handle this fella. Maybe not 2 turns, maybe like 3 turns, but we'll see. This guy's name is the Phantom, by the way. He's a very terrifying figure. We can use some more, and we're gonna take quite a hit here. But again, we should be able to take care of this guy next turn. I just, we still need a few pieces to make this speedster deck really work, but there's a vision here. Alright, and then bird swoop and you're dead. Alright, cool, so we cleared the first floor. First ever floor cleared on the channel for Slay the Spire 2. How about that? Okay. Deal 10 damage to all enemies. Repeat this effect for each enemy killed. I don't think we want any of these cards. So I think the thing that you have to get your head wrapped around with, or at least I do with Slay the Spire, is that it's not always, you don't always have to take a card. In fact, sometimes it's not beneficial to do so. I've met your sisters, you know, such lovely girls they are. Say nothing, because I'm the silent. Why would I say anything? Oh dear, you haven't been fighting, have you? Okay, let's see. Upgrade 4 random cards. So they're probably going to upgrade a bunch of shit we don't want. So remove, when you shuffle your draw, add soot. Remove food cards from your, whenever you shuffle your draw pile, add a soot into your draw pile. I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's take away 4 strikes. Why not? Because we'll be getting to a point where we can cycle through our deck like every turn if we get the right cards. So, okay, so that's where we need to go for the money. Is there a shop after? There's not. So I'm cool with an early shop like that, and then go that way. Oh, but we're gonna hit 2 shops. Okay, actually, scratch that. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. We don't want that. We'll hit a shop eventually, so I think we want to go this way, and then up, and get a shop, and then go through that. And I think we're gonna want to hit the elite, and another campfire, and then maybe another elite, and then that last campfire. Oh, the crab. The crab is a nightmare, dude. The crab is really tough. Okay, that's fine. We'll just see what happens. Now, this guy, the Thieving Hopper, he may take a card that you actually want him to take, which is kind of cool. And then, yeah, we do that. Not really the best move there, but it's all good. So we're gonna take 12 damage, and he's gonna snatch a card from us. I wonder what... Speedster, we cannot allow you to have that, dear sir. Cannot allow it. Do that, and block. So he's gonna leave. When does he leave? I think he leaves in like 5 turns or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. Status, we want you to go away, and you go away. So the soots might prove annoying ultimately, but I think we can work around it. Because again, like I said, like this is a draw deck. Like we want to draw a lot of cards. So... I think a ricochet would go good because of acrobatics and prepared. Like it'll give us more to do with the discard aspect of our build. And we want to drop that. I think we want to drop even more cards. And we'll get rid of those. And then we will... take you out. And then we will take 1 damage. And that will be acceptable for me. Sorry, my cats they're obnoxious sometimes. Alright, so we'll dagger throw, draw a card, and then we should, yeah, we killed both of them. Okay. I think we have something going on. The only thing I'm worried about is the soot. The soot, I think, might end up being a problem for us. Another prepared, of course. Easy choice. Alright, you're gonna summon a monster. You're an ovocopter. That's interesting. Okay. So we're gonna do that. Draw 2 cards. And we will drop a 2 defense. And we'll play our other speedster. And we'll do that. And you should be... We should make pretty quick work of you, I would assume. That. And we're not going to play that. And we'll weaken you. We'll only take 2 damage this time. I like what we have going on, I really do. I think we have an opportunity to... for a pretty good deck here. Oh baby, this is going great. And then we want to do that and draw. Get rid of the spoils map. Play prepared, draw 2 more cards. Get rid of, nope, we want to get rid of that. And our sucker punch. And then we'll play another one. And we'll get rid of that card. And then we'll play that. And we will take no damage, although we should have played the Survivor because it's worth more block, but... Alright, Bird Swoop, neutralize, block. We don't need to block, but why not? If you have the energy, play it. Good habit. Alright, so we should be able to take this guy out this turn, I would assume. And we cannot, which is very annoying. No, we can't. And we're going to take 8 damage, which is very frustrating. So we really need some backflips. I think like 2 backflips would be great for us. And there's that. All done. Another prepared or deal 5 additional damage for each card discarded this turn. We do discard a lot, but most of our damage needs to come from Speedster, I would assume. We have 2 prepareds, and then 1 acrobatic. I think a Memento Mori. We'll do that. That could be like our big attack. And I think we definitely want to remove our last strike, unless we have a curse, which we don't. Okay, yeah, we definitely want to do that. And honestly, reflex, draw 2 more cards. That's pretty insane. And then start each combat with 1 dexterity is pretty nuts too, because if we can ever get some backflips into the deck, that'll be really good for us, as far as being able to, what am I trying to say here? Being able to stack a bunch of block. And yeah, I think we're getting to the point now with the deck, though, that we don't need to really add much else. Maybe like 2 more backflips would really finish things out, but it's not like a requirement, I don't think. So we'll see what we got here. Oh wow, you're doing 5 damage. I didn't even realize that was happening. Okay, That doesn't do damage though, when it's just like the speedster damage. And we don't want to play that because, again, we don't want to do that. So we'll get rid of these cards, that card. And we're gonna have to rest. Yeah, we have a campfire right after this. If we can survive this fight. Now, there's a good chance we don't survive this fight, to be honest with you. So, play that. Bird swoop, 14 damage, another block. All right, well, at least we're not taking any damage this turn, but I think he gets thorns next turn. Okay, cool. We should be able to take you out this turn, though. And then play that again, and you're gone. Colorless potion. I'll take another reflex. And as for this, we can discard that and take a colorless potion. Alright, now we're going to rest. And we're going to go to a shop that is not going to be good for us because we don't have any money. But that's whatever, at least we don't have to deal with combat. No, that doesn't work for what we're doing, so no point in buying it. Now we get the 600 gold, which is awesome, and we get a permafrost. First time you play a power, each combat gains 6 block. I don't think we play many powers. Yeah, I think we went and hit another campfire, actually, because divine 3 times. Crystal sphere. I predicted you to enter, a raspy voice calls out as you enter a mystic hut. Your destiny has brought you here. We must uncover your future and fortunes so you can save us all. Okay, here are the options for the crystal sphere reading. Be sure to sign this waiver as well, she says while bringing out pen and parchment. Okay, what does divine do? I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh, right. Okay, so this is like a way to get more cards. So like definitely, or like more money. Doubt. Strange. Money. Okay, gold. That's not bad. And then another power potion. I think we take the power potion and we go to the campfire and rest. And the next store we hit, we're gonna remove doubt. But we gotta get through 1 elite and 2 hallway fights first. Hunter, killer. We want speedster. And we want that. And we want to play reflex. And we want to play prepared. And we want to get rid of these defends because we don't need them. And then we want to play neutralize and bird swoop. And we would like to do that and discard that card and then play this card. And we're gonna do that with ricochet. And we're off to the races. You have half of your health missing already. We still have to find a way to make Memento Mori work, but I think we have something cool going on here. Draw 2 more cards. And then weaken you. So you're only gonna do, well, you're gonna do 12 damage, okay. Whenever you play a card, lose 1 strength and 1 dexterity this turn, okay. As long as we're doing something, I guess. Get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Yeah, because we're gonna play a defend this turn, so. Alright, 15 damage. Do that. That. Oh, baby. That's good stuff right there. Play another speedster. And 16 additional damage plus 10. 15 additional damage is not going to do it unless we play our strength card and we do 20 and it's still not going to kill you. But 12 plus 5 is 17. I don't want to do it, but I think you must. I think you, because we don't have any cards in our draw pile, so it would have done no damage. Then we just do that, and we'll kill you next turn. So I don't like that we had to use 2 potions to get through this guy, but I don't think I've ever fought this guy before, so I'm actually okay with it, because, again, I'm still learning the game. There are things I still don't quite understand about it. A blur upgraded is pretty good, I would say. And we'll play Speedster, draw 1 card, drop that, and another prepared, and that. And we're not going to play Defend this turn, so cool with that. Then we'll play the other Speedster, and then the Bird Swoop. And we're rocking and rolling early. Alright, 26 damage is a lot. Draw 2 cards. And then I think we want to play another dagger, or let's see how much that's going to take you down to 7. Yeah. Oh, we could have played, that's alright, not a big deal. I was going to say we could play Survivor and then we could play Blur, but not the end of the world. Because again, like, as long as we're not taking damage, I'm happy. Alright, so prepared, reflex, and then prepared again, and then we'll get rid of the soot, and then we'll get rid of the defend, and then we will play this for 25 and kill you. I don't think we want any more. I don't think we want any more cards, except if we can find a backflip. If we can find a backflip or 2, I would take that, but I don't think we need anything else. Let's see, we can't get our second speedster going, and we can, which is awesome. But you're gonna do 10, 16, you're gonna do 24 damage. I mean, you have to play this. Although when it said you play, first time you play power, each combat gains 6 block. Okay. I'm cool with doing that. Although it would have been great to have gotten that at the beginning of the turn instead of the end, but. So I'm thinking we're gonna have to heal after this before the elite fight. Or not the elite fight, the other fight, the main fight. Alright, wow, so 14 plus 8 is 22, plus 6 is 28, so you're gonna do 28 damage. Not great, Bob. I think we want to try to kill one of these guys. I mean, right? Like, we gotta do something here. Ah, this is a miserable turn, dude. Not a great turn. Okay, we're not gonna die, so that's good, but we're not in good shape. To say the least. We're not in good shape. Yeah, I think we get rid of Memento Mori and a defend. And then I think we do that. Get rid of that card. I think we weaken you. And then 6 block. You're gonna do 20. We can basically block, well, we can block all of it, so we're not gonna take any damage, so that's good. Now, do you regenerate after a turn off? I can't remember. No, you regenerate this turn. So we'll do this. And that's it. Okay, cool. Well, we survived. Got Happy Flower for trouble. I think you take another prepared, since this game apparently doesn't want to give me any backflips. I think you have to take... Now here's going to be the test. This is going to be the... If we know. Because this guy's tough. Ricochet and doubt. Get rid of those. And then we'll play the second speedster. And then discard draw again. Discard draw. And then I think we want to face you because you're going to do more damage to us. Okay, pretty good first turn. At least the one thing I'm like happy about is at least we are going to deal damage to both of these guys with our speedster cards. So there's that at least. 13. We got 2 to play with. You play that. I think you play that. And we're still going to take a hit, but we may not get out of this alive. Now that I'm thinking about it, now I'm like kind of crunching the numbers a little bit. I think we just have 2 little health, but we'll see. We'll keep trying. It's not over yet. Okay, we want to face you because you're the only one attacking this turn, and then we want to get rid of that card for sure. And defend, I guess. Weaken you. You're gonna do 8 damage. Prepared. Bird swoop is good. I'll play. We'll do. I do 8, so we'll do that. Apply more weak to you. And do a bird swoop and play this so we don't take any damage. I think it could go either way. I think if we have one off turn, like this turn could be the end of the run, to be honest with you. And it looks like it's going to be. That is really frustrating. Unless we can just like get a really, really lucky draw. Which it doesn't appear is gonna happen. Yep. We're just dead, fellas. That's it. That's the end. Goodbye, cruel world. That's unfortunate. We had a really cool run going, I thought. I think we just took too much. We just didn't have enough health. I think we flew a little too close to the sun with the campfires, just prioritizing other things. So, yeah, unfortunate, but that's going to do it for this episode. I'll be back. I love Slay the Spire. I love Slay the Spire 2 especially, so I will obviously be back. And narrating this, or talking as I play, has 2 things. Number 1, it creates a video where hopefully you'll get to relax to it while I play Slay the Spire. But also, it allows me to slow down my play and like actually kind of talk through what I'm doing. It helps me become a better player as well. So another reason to play it so on my channel. So anyway, if you're still awake, sleep well, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.